Hey guys, before we get started, I just want to let you know I'm doing a shark card giveaway for the new Rune vehicle and Lampadati Michele GT that was just released in Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm going to be handing out $1.25 million to one lucky person. That giveaway is going on my Twitter account, so if you're not following me on there, you should. I'll be announcing the winner on Friday, and one of you guys will be walking away with a little bit of extra money, hopefully to fund these new vehicles or whatever else you want. So I think everyone was pretty shocked today when Rockstar didn't release the Dinka Jester Classic, and no one is really too sure why. Is Rockstar just going to be releasing it next week? Are they going to be saving it for another update and making changes to it along the way? Because even though this is one of the most highly requested vehicles in the game, it's gotten a lot of pushback on not only the bugs that Rockstar have in it, but also some of the decisions they've made regarding this vehicle. So maybe they would just scrap it altogether and create a new one for a future update. Regardless, we're going to be talking about 10 things today that Rockstar need to change about the Dinka Jester Classic before it is added into the game. Now, some of these will be more realistic than others, and one thing I'm not going to be talking about is the engine handling flags, because that's not specific to the Jester. That is for every single vehicle that was added in the newest DLC. So I'm not going to be talking about that in this video today. All right, at the number one spot today, and I don't know how Rockstar missed this, but on the right front headlamp on the Dinka Jester Classic, there's no glass, which is so strange. Like, how do you miss something like that? I really don't know. It's the weirdest thing ever. So you can see on the left front headlamp, there's like glass, like normal, but on the right side, there's none, which is so weird. It's like they just forgot to add that piece when they were building this car. So obviously, I'd like to see them clean that up. It really bothers me OCD-wise looking at this car, because on the side with glass, you see like the shiny reflection of the world, and on the side without the glass, it's kind of like a matte finish. So it's really awkward to see that with both headlights being different. So that's the first thing I'd like to see Rockstar change. Fix the headlights. That should be super easy. On the trunk of this vehicle, you can actually open it up, which is kind of cool. However, the rear tail light doesn't open up with the trunk. It just kind of remains floating, suspended in the air. So this is obviously a really small change, but I'd imagine a lot of people are going to be doing car shows with the Dinka Jester. And if you do so and you open up your trunk, you're just going to have this awkwardly floating taillight. And what's funny is during the nighttime, when that's on, you just see like this glowing, floating red bar in the sort of back of your car. So I hope Rockstar fixes that. It should be a very easy change to make. In fact, there have been mods of this vehicle that you can add to your game right now that have fixed a lot of these changes. So that's one super easy thing Rockstar can do. Fix that darn taillight on the back. Number 3, this one should be obvious. Add liveries to this vehicle. Why the Dinka Jester Classic did not get liveries is one of life's greatest mysteries. I really don't know why. I mean, this vehicle was iconic in the Fast and Furious franchise. It's an iconic vehicle just in general. So why it doesn't have pop culture liveries and just cool racing style designs on there, I'm not sure. There's a ton of Fast and Furious references I'm sure that they could do. I mean, it just does not make sense at all that this vehicle did not get liveries. So I'd love to see Rockstar do that. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Benny's vehicle. We'll actually touch on that a little bit later. Liveries can be applied in the LSC now, but why this vehicle got skipped over in the livery department is kind of a mystery to me. I'm really not too sure why. The number 4 spot today, this vehicle deserves to be in the sports class, not the sports classic. So cars like the Lampadati Michele GT, which released today, and the Rune Cherubic, those are sports classics. The Toyota Supra, which is the Dinka Jester Classic, does not deserve to be a sports classic. And I feel like Rockstar has this weird notion where if they call something classic, they have to add it to the sports classic class. I don't know why they didn't do something similar to the LG Retro Custom or the Comet Retro Custom, where they called it Retro or Custom and allowed you to keep it in the sports class. The Comet is in the sports. The Comet Retro is in sports. The LG is in sports. The LG Retro is in sports. Why didn't Rockstar do the same thing here with the Jester? That really blows my mind that they did not keep it in the sports class, because it just doesn't seem to fit or look like it belongs in the sports classic category. Rockstar's kind of weird about that. I'm not too sure why, but I feel like this vehicle just doesn't really have a place in the sports classic category. The number 5 spot, I don't know how Rockstar would go about doing this, but this car does not deserve to be Dinka. So Dinka is based off of Honda in real life, whereas Karen is based off of Toyota. So this vehicle is clearly modeled after the Toyota Supra. So because it's Toyota, it should be modeled after the Karen brand, not Dinka. I know what Rockstar is trying to do. They were trying to line up Dinka Jester and Dinka Jester Classic, but this vehicle makes way more sense as Karen instead of Dinka. This isn't the Honda Supra, it's the Toyota Supra. So I'm not really sure how Rockstar would implement that change as well, as I know that might be a little bit awkward to just sort of switch car brands like that. But as far as the lore goes, it makes way more sense to have it as Karen instead of Dinka. The number 6 spot today, better spoiler options. So the Toyota Supra is known for having that classic looking spoiler on there. It's nice and rounded. And for whatever reason, Rockstar really dropped the ball here in terms of not adding a spoiler that really looks good on this vehicle. And that's an iconic part of this car. Some vehicles just have iconic wings on them, and the Supra is one of them. And Rockstar they really messed this up. There's like no way to go about saying it any other way. Like they messed it up by not adding that spoiler option into the game. And as I mentioned earlier, there are mods that easily correct this. And you can see in this video right here, like it looks so much better with a big spoiler like that. So I'm not sure why Rockstar decided to go against that. It's like when they were designing this vehicle, they were like, let's see how upset we can make people while producing this car. I'm pretty sure that was like their main objective here. So I'm a little bit confused, but adding this spoiler would be a big benefit to this car. The next thing is exhaust options. The exhaust options on this vehicle are so weak and they're really intrusive. Like they almost sort of like force the exhaust option down your throat, and there's no real way to change it. You're forced with the dual options in the back. There's no way to alter them at all. And it's really unfortunate because it's one of the things you see the most on the back of this vehicle, alongside of the diffuser, which you can't remove either, which I guess is another thing I could talk about, the exhaust and the diffuser so close together. It's really the first thing you're going to notice, because when you drive the car, if you're not in first person, you're going to be driving it looking at the rear. Fire is going to spit from the exhaust. You're going to notice it when that happens, and it just looks so bad, in my opinion. So I feel like Rockstar need to add more exhaust options here. Just like the spoiler variants, they need to add more. It just doesn't make sense why there wasn't more included originally when this vehicle was designed. At the number 8 spot, the interior knobs, dials, and vents. So there's a really weird glitch with this vehicle where changing the interior color actually modifies like things that shouldn't be changed. So changing the seats, changing the door panels, that's to be expected. But changing the dials on like the dash, changing the air conditioning vent colors, that's not what's supposed to happen. And it does in the Dinka Jester, which sort of prevents you from having an interior color that isn't like white or black without looking completely ridiculous. So that's something they definitely need to work on as well, fixing the interior bugs with this vehicle, because it basically makes driving in first person so frustrating. Like because all you're going to be looking at are these weird multicolored dials and knobs and vents, and it just looks ridiculous. No car functions like that, especially one like this. So definitely got to fix those interior bugs. The number 9 spot, if you want the upgraded seat option, the game forces a roll cage on you, which you guys might really like roll cages, and it all sort of depends on what type of look you're going for the vehicle. I don't mind roll cages in certain situations, but not every situation. And the game sort of forces the roll cage on you. It's not as bad as the Comet SR that has it permanently, but if you want that sportier interior look, they just say, here, have a roll cage too, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of frustrating. So they definitely need to fix that. Just make the roll cage like a separate chassis upgrade category. Don't stick it in with the seats and stuff like that, because it really messes with your ability to customize the car that much more. So Rockstar, don't put the forced roll cage on us. That's something we don't want. And at the number 10 spot today, this one is probably just the most generalized one of them all, but I'd like to see more upgrade options and more modification customization that you can do to this vehicle. Now, I don't know if that would be making this car a Benny's vehicle, which is what I think it should have been since day one. I mean, this car basically screams, take me to Benny's, but obviously you can't. but there needs to just be more customization options aside from the things that they've added and the one we have in the game right now. There needs to be more bumper options. There needs to be more skirt options, the ability to change the mirror, maybe options for the roof, for the hood. I also think it should have better stock rims. I think those are a little pathetic. So just overall in general, I'd like to see more modification options, whether that happens at the LSC or whether that becomes a Benny's vehicle, I'm not sure. Probably just at the Los Santos custom shop, but who knows? We don't know what Rockstar is going to do with this vehicle. We don't know why it wasn't released today. I can only imagine Rockstar has seen the feedback on this vehicle and it probably hasn't been great. So it makes me wonder, are they reconsidering actually designing this vehicle again? And will we see it re-released in another update? So anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Dinka Jester Classic in its current state. And do you agree with some of the things I've mentioned that I believe Rockstar need to fix before it's actually added into the game? Some of these are probably more realistic than others, but I'd like to hear what you think in the comments down below. Anyways, if you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.